Muggels. Hat die Zeit gestoppt? Nee. Errungenschaft freigeschaltet. Egoismus. Okay. Ought to know. Ryuki Chapter 1.
Ja, die Durststrecke hat ein Ende, die Lunafin ist zurück. Hype. Hallo Luna, hallo Chat.
Chat. Das ist aber süß gesagt. Dankeschön, Shanks, für den Resub. Danke für die 7 Monate. Dankeschön. Vielen, vielen Dank.
I'm the
danke.
president of the Japanese Knives Laws branch, Tokiko Shigure.
I apologize for visiting so late at night. I'm from the Metropolitan Police Department.
Mr. Ryuki, is it? Mamoru, my secretary, has already informed me. I hear you've come to ask about Jin Furue's murder.
Das sind die Bodyguards. Die Bodyguards. This is the president's office on the top floor of the building containing the Japanese branch of Knives Laws, commonly known as NICE. When I synced with Chikara earlier, Tama and I saw something in SOMNIUM. Someone who looked like they were in NICE was making the Bad Spot 90 video. And that's why we ended up here. Ja, da muss man so schnell lesen, weil das so schnell weitergeht. We came to the president's office to talk to the top level of NICE. Oh, what should I call this? A pond, maybe? Well, it's sure not a river. Well, we'll go with pond for now, okay? Ist da wieder ein Meerjungfrau-Mann drin? It's Tokiko Shigure, the president of the NICE Japan branch. Oh Gott. Nee, ich rede noch nicht mit dir, sorry. Lights. Glass door.
That's the nonupal X, the symbol of Knives.
Nonupal means consisting of 9. You know how there's single, double, triple?
Ich hab nichts gedrückt, ich schwöre. So, nonupal X means 9 X's? Seems so. Did you know Nazalos is derived from 9X at Lozenge? Lozenge, referring to a diamond shape. In other words, Nazalos means the 9 axes of the diamond. Dankeschön, Clemmy, fürs Abgift am Bodyguard 2. Dankeschön, vielen, vielen Dank. Dad. Dad. Mamoru. Wingsync. It's Shokiko's secretary, Mamoru. Sag mal was Lustiges.
Something funny. There, I said it. Your badge.
That's something phony.
What is this? A vaudeville routine? That wasn't funny at all.
Und du bist ihr Sekretär, ja?
Yeah, but I'm also her bodyguard. I used to be a bodyguard for a certain politician until the end of last year. He was a piece of human garbage.
Ja, was
Slugged
wirklich?
him in the face and resigned. Then ended up here thanks to an acquaintance introducing me.
Ja, ist es wirklich? Ja, nice,
I
ne?
was only hired recently. I don't know much about it, really.
Aber war ihm nicht egal, dass er ein Arsch war? Das hat er doch beim ersten Teil noch gesagt. Wir wingsinken. Zeit für ein Duell.
It was a heat of the moment thing, but I ended up quitting my job. I don't regret punching that scumbag, but... what am I going to do now? I've got 10 children to think about. What? A job? With the conditions I requested?
10?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do anything, as long as it's not illegal.
10 Kinder. Von einer Frau. Ich meine, jeder hat andere Hobbys. Big Window. Sprich mit der Hand. Nee. Wir sind hier nicht so.
Why would they make something like this indoors?
Who knows?
Frag nicht. Menschen. Das muss, also, nee. Office Jazz, okay. Itsuki Shiguro, the president of the NICE Japan. Also, das hatten wir schon. Ja, wo warst du um 6 Uhr am 9.?
Judging by the way you asked that, I assume that's Jin's estimated time of death?
Vielleicht.
Yes.
I was in Okinawa from the night of the 8th. I had a seminar to attend on the 9th and 10th. I returned to Tokyo late last night.
I checked the logs for hotels and airports, her smartphone access points, and the security footage for each location. It's true that Tokiko was in Okinawa from the 8th to the 10th.
So she has an alibi.
As long as you presume Jin's body wasn't brought back with her from Okinawa.
Wie bist du hier gelandet?
I had a very hard time finding the place. After all, NICE is a secret organization hidden
Danke für
from the
den Hype
public.
Train, Leute.
That's a good
Danke.
thing Boss just happened to know someone who knew this location. Otherwise, we would have been out of luck.
Even after I got inside the building, it wasn't easy. The guards, the security gates. If I hadn't met Mamoru at the entrance, I probably wouldn't even have made it to this office.
I know about Abyss, and I know it's trustworthy. That's why I let you through to talk to the president.
Bye bye, Hypodrängen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ihr seid faul. Ihr könnt auch mal zu Fuß gehen. Das Bettsding.
Considering the fact that you are here, I assume it would be pointless to hide it. Indeed. I had my subordinates create that video. Bats 490 was an ARG. Just a game. But there was a high-level encryption hiding a message within. We have
Drücke nicht. Ich drücke nicht. We have been seeking high IQ individuals with the capability to decode it. The purpose was to recruit them into NICE. So this QR video was made. So this QR video was made for the same reason. I'm aware of that video. I saw it on the news. However, it's completely unrelated to NICE. I assume someone made it with the intent to imitate Bats 490. What do you think, Tama? Hard to say on that alone. Auch über das 9-Euro-Ticket? Weiß ich nicht. Wir müssen noch einiges nachholen. Nein, müsst ihr nicht. Zu Fuß gehen ist Luxus für reiche Leute. Where to go drink? A stereotypical salaryman. There are tons of good stores, I guess. Aber wie kriege ich denn jetzt wieder Baby? Wie kriege ich denn jetzt wieder Baby? Ach so. Nee. Nee. Ich will wieder Baby. Ich will wieder Baby. Ich will wieder neu machen. Ich meine, ich habe Mama bekommen. Das reicht mir eigentlich. Ich habe meinen Lieblingscharakter bekommen. Schlaf gut, Crack. Und nochmal vielen, vielen Dank für den Raid. Dankeschön. Schlafen Sie fein. Nice, ne?
Anyway, I was surprised. I had heard of NICE, the secret organization, but I thought it was just an urban legend. I
Hab schon
can't
von
believe it
NICE gehört.
actually exists.
Yes, there has been all sorts of gossip about us. Some claim we're a secret society of Satanists, or that we have something to do with a sequence of binary code that came from space. But that's all nonsense. Made-up stories that become more and more embellished as they were passed on. Rumors are quite a terrifying thing. NICE is a perfectly legitimate ideological society. Our headquarters are located in New York, with many branches in cities throughout the world. This is one such branch. This is a common misconception, but NICE
mit
is
Mama nicht
not a
Baby neu machen.
religious organization. We are a
Touché,
group of
gute Idee.
like-minded individuals who act together based on a certain understanding of the universe.
And that is?
The simulation theory. Have you heard of it?
That the world is an artificial simulation of reality created by someone or something. That's the theory.
You're saying everything in this world we're living in isn't real?
Yes. It's a false world constructed with specific rules by a program.
Okay.
And if it is made by a program, there must by necessity be imperfections, edges, or seams. To find these seams,
Ich muss
or
gerade
to
sitzen.
create them, is our objective.
Why would you do that?
If you tear at the seams of a cloth, it will unravel, and a hole will be created. Thusly, we will tear at the seams of the program until it is unraveled, and its people are emancipated. That is our ultimate goal.
This old hag has completely lost it.
Danke, Tama. Es gibt Labello-Zeug mit Cookie-Geschmack. Krass. Wisst ihr, was ich krasses gesehen habe? Es gibt jetzt so eine richtig schöne rosa Haarfarbe. Ich überlege, ob ich das mache. Ich habe aber Angst, dass sie nicht mehr rausgeht. Aber die ist so richtig schön rosa. So richtig schön rosa. So nicht so diese kalte Rosa, sondern diese richtig schön warme Rosa. Ich bin noch am Überlegen. Blonden Hintergrund. Nein, ich vermische, verschwimme im Hintergrund. Zur Not wächst die Farbe raus. How will you tear the seams of the world?
The intersection between the warp
Gesamte
and
Camping.
weft. That's
Bis auf
where the
hier.
seam can occur.
I don't understand.
You will someday. It is a prophecy. It will be fulfilled eventually.
What is that?
It's a hand sign we use. It's meant to
Unendlichkeit.
resemble the sign behind me.
Naja, also da muss, zeig nochmal. Also, Entschuldigung, aber wie jetzt? Ich drück nicht weg. Entschuldigung, aber, also, nee.
Do you mean the man from Horadori Institute of Genetics?
So you do know him. I'm actually here because of a tip I got from him.
Shikara is under arrest?
No, he was just released earlier. We didn't have enough evidence to keep him detained.
I see.
Ja, die Beziehung mit Chikara, ja.
Shikara is a former member of NICE, though this was over 20 years ago. When he left us, he became an
Die
avid believer in the
Fingerbrille mal so
Order of
wieder.
Percent.
Order of Percent?
It's an organization that split off from NICE. You could say they are a sect.
Aber ihr nicht, oder
The Order
was?
of Percent is a religious sect, whereas we are an ideological society. Despite our common roots, we are heading in completely different directions.
Then how did Chikara know that Nyes created Bats 490?
I wouldn't know about that. Perhaps he asked an acquaintance from NICE. By the way, would you mind if I asked you a question?
Ja,
What is it?
möchte ich
Are
nicht.
you perhaps a Freyer?
Freyr?
Frey, I thought I heard that somewhere
I am
before.
asking the person within you.
What?
I will ask you one more time. Are you a Freyer?
Ich kenne Freya, also den Namen, und ich kenne The Frey oder so, wie die Band heißt. Aber ja, bin ich natürlich.
Hey, Ryuki.
As I thought. Then you've realized this world is fictional.
Genau.
Am I correct?
Ja, klar. Ja, natürlich.
Ryuki, what's gotten into you?
Weiß ich nicht.
Then please tell me the nil number. If you truly are a Freyer,
Nil.
you should know it.
Nil. Das war bei Zero Escape. Oder? Nee, warte mal. Nee, das war bei Zero Escape, oder? Irgendwas kratzt da ganz weit tief drin hinten vergessen. Wo kann ich Passwort eingeben? Nil nicht einfach null.
So, you don't know. In other words,
Zero.
you lied.
Oh good, she saw right through it. I thought that I could get her to keep talking if I faked my way through it.
Way to go.
What is a nil number? What is a Freyer? Frey. Right. I remember now.
Erzähl mal.
It was written on that sign.
Frey to free.
Ach ja, stimmt.
Frey can mean fight, but it can also mean to wear out or tear.
Remember what Tokiko said. Their ultimate goal is to break down this world and emancipate its people.
Miss Shigure, Are you sure Nyes didn't make the QR video?
We did not.
But the word Frey was written on that sign in the QR code.
We of Nyes are only involved in Bats 490, which we created half a year ago. We are not the ones who created the QR video. The word Frey being displayed on that sign must be a coincidence.
That can't be just a coincidence.
Oh, but it can. After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program. And such programs always have some glitches lurking under the surface.
Lurker, warum bist
We
denn du
call
schon
such
wieder
glitches
dabei?
seams.
Immer bei den
Coincidences like
Verrückten.
this are a manifestation of such glitches. Proof of imperfection. Proof of the seams. The appearance of Jin's corpse is also likely to be an example of such phenomenon.
What?
Are you familiar with the Philadelphia experiment?
Klar.
It's a top-secret military experiment that's said to have taken place in the American city of Philadelphia on October 28, 1943. A powerful electromagnetic wave was fired towards the USS Eldridge, a destroyer-class warship. Supposedly, the reason for doing this was to conceal the ship from showing up on radar. But as soon as the experiment began, something strange happened. The Eldridge was enshrouded in a greenish mist, then vanished.
Die haben
Afterward,
angefangen,
it
okay.
appeared at a military port in Norfolk, nearly 200 miles away from the shipyard in Philadelphia. Sometime later, it reappeared in its original position again.
So you're saying it teleported?
Well, it's nothing but an urban legend. Just an occult story with low credibility.
I relate Tama's story directly to Tokiko.
Yes, exactly. However, the story doesn't end there. When the USS Eldridge returned to Philadelphia, there were several sailors on
Das
board.
sagt mir aber auch schon wieder
but
was.
Some of them had melted like a rotten banana, while others ended up with their bodies entirely burned and blackened. Others were said to have merged with the steel hull, their bodies having become a piece of the ship. Does that sound familiar?
Auf
You
jeden
mean
Fall.
Jin? Are you saying his right half teleported here?
It isn't impossible. If a seam was torn, that is.
Impossible.
Okay, wer gehen hier? Der macht mir Angst. Der erzählt Schwachsinn. So, Yagi Park. Okay. Das Spiel ist übrigens länger als das erste. Ich habe gerade nachgeguckt. Das eine war bei komplett 30 und das jetzt ist bei 37.
You like this park, don't you, Ryuki?
Vor allem mag ich aber
I
dich.
feel calm when I'm around nature. It's like I can feel the buzz inside me quieting down. Tama, what do you think about what Tokiko said earlier? Is something like teleportation really possible?
Hey, come on. I told you the Philadelphia experiment is just an urban legend.
How else can you explain what happened with Jin? We can't deny that his right half suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Jeez. Then why don't we find out for ourselves?
What do you mean? You want to go to the studio right now?
No need. Just close your eyes.
My eyes?
Just do it.
Okay.
Hat ihn Schwert im Popo. Wir sind bei 24,3. Nach 3 Stunden Streamzeit 24,3. Easy.
What the? Did we teleport here?
Are you serious?
We're in Studio Devita, aren't we?
It just seems that way. We're not actually there. Last night, I scanned every nook and cranny of the scene. What you're looking at now is what I replicated using that data.
Wow. It's like I'm actually there. The corpse looks so real.
Want me to put a mosaic over it?
Uncensored is fine.
Now, less digressing and more investigating. Your objective is to solve the mystery behind the sudden appearance of Jin's right half.
Alright, let's start looking around.
Virtual Reality Activation. Ein paar Fledermäuse an der Kaffee. Das stimmt. Ja. Virtual Reality. The VR allows you to walk around the scene and gather information. Tama special vision modes such as X-ray mode can be applied to everything. By changing the special mode, what you can expect will change. Utilize this to find the hidden information.
Wow, I can switch to X-ray mode too.
That's because I've gathered all data from the scene. Like I mentioned yesterday, Jin's estimated time of death is 6 o'clock on February 9th.
Yeah, baby.
Based on the time his corpse appeared, it should be about 40 hours ago. Rigor mortis seems to be fading already. It's not completely gone yet, but the body has somewhat softened at this point. It should take more time to get to this stage if it's been on a rooftop in the winter. That's why I think this corpse was kept indoors, someplace warm.
Tschüss, Hund. Er ist weg. Corpse Discovery Situations. Rigor Mortis ist doch bestimmt die Leichenstarre, oder? Rigor Mortis was already fading and the body had somewhat softened by the time it was found. The podium used by the quiz show host. Set is full of dazzling
These aren't
lights.
good for much other than for show.
Den Bayern winken, was gut war. Was ist mit euch? 2011, aber Bayern hat ohne eigene Zeitzone. Klar. Die sind halt cool. It's a camera. That body was shown to the entire world. There's an electric kettle here.
Maybe it's for having tea during breaks.
Interessiert uns nicht. Camera. There's a big monitor here.
Looks like it's there so the performers can check how they look on screen.
It's the seat for the quiz show contestants. It's the seat for the quiz show contestants. Lass mich raten. It's the seat for the quiz show contestants. Wow. Krass. The Amabi TV logo on the
The questions for the quiz also show up here too. Huh.
So, jetzt.
The bottom part of the signboard is stuck pretty deep in there.
There's a bit of a curve at the tip. Kind of like a man's you know what.
Couldn't you have compared it to a fishhook or something?
Well, it won't come out easily. Whoever stuck it in probably didn't want it pulled out.
Of course not. A signboard would be useless unless it's standing.
It's useless
Ach
unless
so, die
it's
Gradzahl.
standing?
Let's not go there.
No, that's not what I meant.
Sign stabbing corpse. The signboard was stuck in the corpse, so it's difficult to remove. Remove it, move it.
What's this? There's something inside the body.
3 things catch my attention. First, a mixture of potassium chlorate, sulfur, and red phosphorus. This is probably a fire starter. It would ignite very easily. The fuse is coiled up and extends from there. By the way, the fuse includes an oxidizing agent, so it can continue to burn even inside the body. And finally, at the end of the fuse is a powder mixture of iron oxide and aluminum. This is a substance that causes a thermite reaction.
Ich grille auch immer
When
einen Menschen.
ignited, it creates heat of over 3,000 degrees Celsius and burns violently.
Situation of corpse internals. Inside the corpse is fuel that goes off with even the slightest impact, a fuse and a substance that causes a thermite reaction. Fronttasche fertig. Sehr schön, Squirrel. Glückwunsch. Hast du gut gemacht. Hier. I can see the back of the seat. There are a bunch of mannequins here. Cool. Und das bringt mir was? Was bringt mir das? Was ist das hier? Gar nix? Gar nix, okay. Gar nixen. Ab. Ich hab's, glaube ich. Ich glaube, hier so.
It's a signboard.
Yeah,
Cool. Die Frage ist nur... Ach, Modeless. Ja, krass. Wie confirm ich denn den Status von dem Buddy? Ich gehe da nochmal drauf. Hier. Wenn ich jetzt auf Normal gehe.
What's this?
Nee.
Getting a better look at it. It looks like something tied to his waist.
Hä?
It's like a spider's thread. No, even thinner.
My analysis concludes that this is a CNT, or carbon nanotube. Graphene sheets with the thickness of a single carbon atom. These were rolled into a cylindrical shape to make these nanotubes. The diameter is about 0.4 nanometers. A single nanometer is 1/1000th of 1 meter, so it's not visible to the naked eye.
What? But I can see it.
That's because this thread is made by bundling multiple CNTs. I've also enhanced your vision so you'd be able to see it. By the way, CNTs are extremely durable. They're elastic and hard to break, and it's said that their theoretical maximum tensile strength is 50 times that of steel. Anyway, where is the other end of the CNT connected?
Himmel. Also was ihr irgendwo anders macht, das geht mich nichts an. Hier wird nicht geprügelt, aber irgendwo anders dürft ihr euch prügeln.
That
Das ist euer
way.
Ding.
Over by that red lamp.
Hey, da war ich doch vorhin, da durfte ich nur nicht hin. Also, macht, was ihr wollt. Liegt euch kotzend in den Armen, prügelt euch, trinkt zusammen. Viel Spaß.
What's this?
It's the light switch.
The CNT is tied to it.
CNT extending from corpse. The CNT extending from the corpse was threaded through the ceiling beam and tied to the light switch. Hä, nur ein roter, nicht mal ein blauer? Ja, das zählt nicht.
Okay, it looks like we're pretty much done investigating here. Using the clues we've gathered so far, we should be able to solve the mystery.
You mean the mystery of how Jin's body appeared? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Nach hinten werfen macht auch Sinn. Sonst wird man ja überholt. Truth Reenactment. The truth reenactment allows you to find the truth with the information you have gathered. Answer Tama's questions with the best answer. Wish. Only by correctly answering her questions will the truth be reenacted.
Let's get on that now. First thing,
Yeah.
about that power outage when the body appeared. Was it really just a power outage?
I was wondering about that too. The lights came back on way
Ich
too
muss
quickly.
denken.
Plus, if the power did go out, the stream should have cut out at the same time.
But the stream went on, no problem.
So it wasn't an outage. The lights were switched off.
So how did the lights get turned off?
Well, I think I know what did it.
Naja, da ist ein... Muss ich jetzt das anfassen oder das anfassen? Ich fasse mal das an.
That's the switch that powers the lighting.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. Someone simply walked up and flipped this switch.
But no one was near the switch when the lights went out.
Okay, ich muss
Let's
nicht
try
der
to think of
Switch.
something else.
Ja, okay. Ja, okay. Zählt das jetzt als...
There were bundled CNTs tied to the body. They were routed through the ceiling beams and onto the light switch.
But a dead body can't pull strings.
No,
this?
but it can fall. From the ceiling, I mean.
Now that you mention it,
Schlafe,
I
Black
thought I heard
Sandbox.
something hit the floor right after the lights went out.
The body fell from the ceiling and tugged on the CNT, which caused the light switch to turn off.
So on to the next question. The corpse was hidden up in the ceiling, right? Then how did it fall?
Ceiling beams were damaged. The couple dropped it from above. The CNT attached to the switch was pulled. The rigor mortis softened, natürlich.
The culprit used the mechanism of the body softening after rigor mortis. The body must have been placed up in the ceiling like a bridge between two beams. It would stay up there while the body is still stiff. But as time passes and rigor mortis lessens, the corpse softens.
And that's what made it fall down. Now, for the final question.
Ja.
Why did the body explode and burn?
Weil da drin
Well,
Zeug ist.
that can be explained by using the X-ray mode.
Naja, da ist halt was drin.
It's because of the contraption set up inside the body. The ignition agent combusted from the impact of the body hitting the ground. The fire went up the coiled fuse and onto the substance that triggered a thermite reaction. The substance was eventually ignited, causing a huge explosion.
So that interval between the fall and explosion was because of the time it took for the fire to reach the end of the fuse. I get it. It was hard to find traces of that trick because it was such an analog method.
Gott, so analog, ey. Ja?
All right, I think we're starting to figure things out here. So you can turn off this VR space now.
No, not yet. That was just a rehearsal. We still have the main show.
Wie
What
jetzt?
do you mean?
We're recreating the culprit's actions.
Are you telling me to do that?
You're the only actor here, aren't you?
Actor?
Krieg ich jetzt einen Oscar?
So, I'm Tama, the director and camera operator. Now that I'm in the director's chair, I'm not going to tolerate shoddy acting. So keep that in mind.
Are we
Natürlich.
recording something?
Of course we are. We're testing a theory here, so we need to create something that can be viewed objectively.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Shut your stupid mouth, you third-rate bit part actor! Are you too much of a moron to figure this out without the director having to tell you everything?
Entschuldigung.
Just zip it and play the culprit. If we're doing this, we're going for the Academy Award.
Macadamy? Like the nuts?
Macadamia?
Enough! Let's get this started! Ready?
Voll aggro.
Action!
Hallo, ich bin der Mörderer.
Hi! I'm, the culprit who killed Jin.
Nein, das macht er nicht wirklich.
Prepare to witness an amazing show featuring this corpse.
Not only is your acting amateurish, but I don't even understand what
Ich
kind of
wollte
character
daraus
you're
einen
trying to play.
Witz machen.
I am an amateur.
Well, this is just the beginning, so I'll give you
nehme
a
aber
pass
mein
for
Popcorn.
now. Let's start with the positioning of the body. Where and how was it placed?
Well,
Nicht spoilern, Entschuldigung.
it was right here. The body was placed so it was hung like a bridge between two beams.
You can place it like this because it was stiff from rigor mortis. So that's how they did the light trick.
Carbon nanotubes, CNT, were tied to the body. The CNT went up the beams and extended downward, onto the light switch.
CNT is too thin to be seen with the naked eye, so no one noticed it.
I've got it all set up.
Meine
Now I
Arme
just
sind
need to
kalt.
wait for the rigor mortis to subside.
Mir ist kalt.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in character?
Boy! I sure hope the corpse gets softer soon! It needs to be soft and squishy! Like an octopus!
This scene makes no sense. I'm cutting it out.
You made me do it!
Danke, Tama.
And after time passed, rigor mortis began to subside.
The body falls, and the impact sets off the ignition agent inside it. The fire travels up the fuse line.
Soon after, a staff member turns on the lights.
Bam! A body appears, as if it teleported in out of nowhere. Sometime later, the burning fuse inside the body reaches the explosives.
Danke, Klebi.
And that is the truth behind the corpse's sudden appearance and explosion!
Bist du jetzt der Mörderer oder der
Good work. I
Detektiv?
got some nice footage of the reenactment.
I still don't understand why the acting was necessary.
Ich bin jetzt kein Fan.
It all makes sense now. That corpse didn't teleport here after all.
Of course it didn't. Though the culprit obviously wanted it to seem that way.
Half of a body just suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Just like the Philadelphia experiment. Someone went
Ja,
through
schon
all that
wieder.
trouble to make it look like something strange occurred.
I think they also wanted to draw as much attention as possible to that sign. All so they could spread that QR video.
Das wird so eine der Serien, wo man sich auf die Werbung freut. Ich würde jetzt gerne sagen, nein, Quatsch, das wird bestimmt richtig gut. Aber ja, ich schätze auch. Time was standing there, or so it seems. About the time rigor mortis would subside. Subside. Why did the culprit blow up the corpse? About the reason the corpse's cross-section was facing downwards. Ja, rigor mortis, ne?
The culprit must have wanted the body to fall during the live stream, right? It would have been pointless otherwise. But could they really predict when rigor mortis would dissipate so accurately?
Chat, jetzt weiß ich, warum ich nicht 30.000 Viewer habe. Bei mir fallen keine Leichen vom Himmel. Das müssen wir ändern. Chat, überlegt euch was.
The culprit didn't put the corpse up on the ceiling beams while it was completely stiff. It had to have been after the body had started to soften, just slightly. That way, they could estimate that the body would fall in a few hours or so. The stream was scheduled for a whole 6 hours.
Ach, im Weg.
The culprit was fine as long as the body fell sometime during that period.
Den wir umbringen? Auf Twitter findet man schon jemanden. Du willst das Leichenregnen? Nee, aber da ist eine Leiche im Livestream gefallen. Und bei denen gab es Einschaltquote, Gude. Ich glaube, das ist einfach, das muss man machen. Why did the culprit blow up the corpse? Das ist eine gute Frage.
Their goal was to make it seem like a supernatural phenomenon. That's why they couldn't leave the CNT on the scene.
Phänomen.
Because it would give away the trick?
Tim
Right.
Tom.
So that's why they caused a thermite reaction and destroyed the CNT.
Das hast du jetzt gesagt? Ist okay. Was? CNT is highly flammable carbon material. It doesn't stand a chance against 3000 degree temperature, but it bonds with oxygen to create carbon dioxide, which helps extinguish the flame. Ja, warum müssen die nach unten guckend?
That body fell from the studio ceiling. If it fell sideways when it landed, the culprit's plans would have been ruined.
Richtig, Tobi. Bird
Yes,
Stars,
like
ja.
you said, it would have been pointless unless the sign was
30.000
standing
Polizisten.
erect. Just like a man's you-know-what.
Again with that joke?
Jetzt lass den Penis in
Besides,
Ruhe.
it is not useless when it's
Also
not
Ryuki.
erect.
Exactly.
What?
There was another purpose to the sign. It's the same reason darts and rockets have tails.
I get it. The cut surface would naturally face the ground because of that sign. It was meant to control the body's posture as it fell.
Die ist schlauer als wir.
So, to wrap it all up, the culprit's motive was to make this seem like a supernatural phenomenon and to spread the QR video, right?
I don't know if that's all there is to it, but probably.
I wonder why Jin was chosen.
Who knows?
Where could his left side be?
It hasn't been found yet. Anyway, starting our search with the people who might have the intel we need is the #1 rule of investigation, right?
Like who?
Jin's right half was up in the studio ceiling the whole time we were shooting the show. There must be someone who knew about it, or at least noticed it.
You mean... the director, Shinpei Wagai.
Right.
Where is he now?
I've tracked him down using his smartphone GPS. He's in Akihabara right now. At the Maid Cafe Sunfish Pocket.
Nee, ich dachte, wir hängen die an meine Decke. So, also dachte ich mir, vielleicht. Achso, ich soll weggehen. Oh, nicht ins Main-Café. Ich will zu Mama. Ich will zu meiner Mama. Eine aufgehängte Leiche. Nicht nur eine, mehrere. Wenn das bei denen mit einer klappt, dann mache ich einfach mehr. Dann klappt das noch besser. Boah. Upsi. Ich putze mal ganz kurz Nase. Leichen sind doch keine Duftbäume. Nee. Stinkt ja auch.
There he is.
Ah, shit.
Hallo.
Damn.
Ich dachte, du bist nicht mehr so. Oh Gott, der Blick von ihr. Das habe ich irgendwie vergessen. Ich will mich erschießen lassen. Was passiert, wenn ich mich erschießen lasse? Ich hab Corey gespielt. Ich bin da drin. Also mit Left Stick müsst ihr mir gar nicht kommen, ja. Oh, das war gemein.
Firing your gun in here? Are you insane? There are customers and staff in here.
Jetzt nicht mehr.
My bad.
An apology is not gonna cut it.
Several people have called the authorities. The local police should be here soon.
Hey, can't you just let me go?
What?
I told you, my girl's pregnant, right?
Ja,
I
und?
can't go to jail! That's why I accepted his offer in the first place. I needed money to take care of my kid.
Accepted whose offer?
Some guy named Terror. I don't know his real name. Haven't seen his face or heard his voice either. All my contact with him was through Nile.
What did he ask you to do?
He said,
I want to borrow your studio for an hour or so on the 10th, before you start preparing for the stream. Do not let anyone near the studio during this time. That includes you. All you need to do is keep the entrance unlocked. I'll pay you 5 million if everything goes well. I'll pay you on the night of the 11th. 11th.
so me and the staff haven't met this Terror guy at all. I don't know what happened in the studio either. I had no idea that was gonna happen.
Du guck doch. Come to class 3A at Sekiba High. You'll get your money there.
Class 3A at Sekiba High.
Ryuki!
Mizuki.
Yeah, let's go.
Ist doch Mizukis Schule, oder? Iris doch auch. Sekiba High. Hyper. Wir gucken ein bisschen Psycho. Und als hätten wir zu wenig Schlaf gehabt.
The director of Horodori Institute of Genetics. Chikara Horodori.
Wir müssen die Leichen auch
No way.
halbieren. Wir sparen uns
Can't
Menschen.
be.
Also für die aufgehangenen Leichen, ne? Also eine halbe Leiche reicht. Hat auch seinen Effekt. Nothing to be done. Ryuki Chapter 2. Was ist eigentlich mit meinem Ikume-Shrine? Oh, da waren wir mit Date und Iris. Jetzt können wir das linke und richtig spielen. Richtig. Jetzt basteln wir mit ihm rum. Jetzt mal ganz ehrlich, warum ist mein Tamagotchi nicht mehr?
Mr. Date told me about this shrine. This place is so full of nature. Just like Yoyagi Park. It's just calming here.
I see.
Tama, would you mind giving me some support?
What do you mean?
I've been thinking about Chikara's murder.
Are you sure you're okay, Ryuki?
What do you mean?
I feel like all of this has been taking a huge mental toll on you.
I'm fine. More importantly, can you recreate the crime scene for me? I just need to close my eyes, right?
Yeah, but... Fine. I'll play along. You are technically my master. I can't disobey your orders.
Thanks. Let's start then.
Halbe Leichen ist klar. Wenn die andere Hälfte im Klassenzimmer gegenüber wäre. Aber das ist wie mit dem Pfeil dann, also durch den Kopf mit dem... Das ist
It's perfect. It's just like the real thing.
I learned how to do 3D modeling in a correspondence course. Back when I was a student, my grandma told me I should learn a skill set.
Warte, was, deine Oma? Wer ist deine Oma?
Chikara's right side. The cross-section is stuck right onto the blackboard.
What's the estimated time of death?
Based on the time the body was discovered, that would make it about 4 hours ago.
So, around 8 p.m. on February 11th, right around the time we were meeting with Tokiko.
I'm sorry, Ryuki. This might freak you out, but there's something I have to tell you. Will you hear me out?
Ja, klar.
What?
Help me left side, I'm
thing
stuck.
is, this corpse is so cowardly that it has no guts!
What?
I know. That was so bad. The joke was over before I even said it. But I just had to do it. I mean, look, the corpse is completely missing its guts. I couldn't let this chance pass me by.
The reason the corpse is on the blackboard
looks like there aren't any other clues here.
is because it doesn't have internal organs anymore. The open space inside the body has a lower pressure than the outside. It's similar to how sections cups work. Hä? Ach, das war alles, okay.
Well, satisfied?
Naja. Das wollte ich nicht. What about the security cameras? About deny message. Ja, was mit den Security-Kameras?
I checked the footage, but I didn't see anyone suspicious.
Das ist schade.
Of course, that place is huge, so there are plenty of areas the security cameras don't cover.
Any cameras on campus?
None. Do you remember what Gen said? The security at Sekiba High is completely lacking.
Denial message, ne?
I think he was lying about the money. Terror probably wanted someone to find Chikara's body.
You mean he wanted Chimpei to find it?
Not necessarily. It might have been for the police. Terror might have predicted that someone from the police would contact Chimpei.
Ist der denn der böse Mörderer?
That's my assumption. I can't think of any other suspects.
Just who is this terror?
I wouldn't be having so much trouble if I knew that.
Also Tama
Can't be
braucht
Tokiko,
aber wirklich
can
einen
it?
DSer, okay?
Tokiko was with me at Chikara's time of death, and she was in Okinawa during the incident with Jin.
Yeah, at the very least, it seems unlikely that she did it personally.
But something has been bothering me. I feel like Tokiko is involved somehow. Chikara was a member of NICE, and he knew about Bats 490. That's not all. The appearance of Jin's corpse was made to seem like a paranormal phenomenon, as if the same thing from the Philadelphia experiment had happened.
After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program.
Could she have done all this to give her claim credibility?
I don't know, but it's possible. In any case, let's go see Tokiko. I have to talk
Nö,
to
ich
her.
mag die nicht.
Understood. We've come this far. I'll back you up until you're satisfied.
Versprochen? Was? Ich will die nicht. Ich mag Tokiko nicht. Die ist blöd. Kann die sterben? Ich will die
I've been
zweigeteilt haben.
expecting you. I thought you would be arriving soon.
What do you mean?
I mean, I knew you would come see me.
Und die Sonnenbrille, warum?
These aren't sunglasses. It's a fairy's black bra.
What a degenerate.
Irgendwas Seltsames, Verdächtiges über Tokiko?
Not really. She's a
Oh
kind
Gott, ich muss
woman.
niesen.
But I obviously wouldn't tell you even if I did know something. As her secretary, it's part of my job to protect her secrets.
Mamoru is an excellent employee who faithfully fulfills
Dankeschön.
his duties. I have complete trust in him.
I'm honored to hear that. I respect you from the bottom of my heart as well.
Gag.
Nee, dieses Zimmer hier, ne?
As you know, this is the president's office at the NICE Japan branch.
The world is full of rubbish. Such things should all be washed away. That was my thinking when I designed this room.
You designed it?
Ist echt
Yes,
okay.
the flow of water cleanses one's heart, just like the flow of time.
Ja, da kann die aufhören mit ihrem bescheuerten Handzeichen. As a memorial to Kiko's secretary and bodyguard, an absolute pervert wearing a black bra on his face. Ja, die Hälfte von Jin hat sich gar nicht teleportiert, du blöde Kuh.
I've solved the mystery, Miss Shigure.
Ach, den holen sie
Jin's
auch
right
schon
half didn't
wahrscheinlich.
teleport. It was just made to seem that way. It should have been obvious when you think about it. Teleportation?
Oops.
It's impossible. We live in a simulation? This is a fake world created by a program? Impossible. Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. Just a ludicrous myth like UFOs, ghosts, and Kappa. I'm sure there are people who'd like to believe in these
Hey,
things.
Kappa gibt's
And there are
wirklich.
groups who profit by making people believe.
Mr. Ryuki, it appears as though there's been some misunderstanding. We of NICE have nothing to do with this.
Are you sure about that? All the pieces would fit together if NICE is the one that made the QR video. The falsified paranormal phenomenon. What was written on the signboard. It all advances your agenda. Could it be that you wanted to spread the QR video by showing that sign along with the corpse on stream?
As I've told you, we are not the ones who made the QR video. What is the purpose of the QR video in the first place? Are you saying there is some message urging people to join NICE in it?
Chikaras Mörder, ne? Hey, Kappa, Kappa, hey, Kappa, Kappa, hey.
I know of the incident, of course. However,
Yes, I know you have an alibi. We were here, having a conversation during the time of Chikara Horadori's death. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're completely innocent. You are the president of NICE. Surely you have plenty of subordinates who can do your bidding.
are you implying I ordered someone to kill him?
Maybe,
It's a
maybe
possibility.
And what would be my motive?
Well,
Remember what Tokiko said. Chikara Horadori is an avid believer in the Order of Percent. Their order and NICE are heading in completely different directions.
perhaps NICE and the Order of Percent are hostile.
I see. You're suggesting there was a conflict between organizations. It is true that NICE and the Order of Percent have differing beliefs. However, we are not at odds with one another. Both organizations believe in the simulation theory. In that respect, we are comrades.
Ja, die wischt bestimmt nicht ab. Richtig. Also, Entschuldigung, ich wasche die ganze Zeit ab. Bis meine Spülmaschine kommt. Ich will meine Spülmaschine haben. Do you know someone named Jinpei Wagai?
No, I don't.
Then do you know about terror?
I've heard that name on the news, yes. This is about the culprit, is it not?
Yes, but...
I have absolutely no idea who it could be. I'm sorry I can't help you, but
Wieso sehen hier eigentlich alle aus wie Pokémon-Trainer? Die könnte halt... Die kommt gleich mit ihrem Dratini um die Ecke oder so.
we are living in a simulation, a false world. And from this false world, we seek emancipation. That is what NICE believes. On the other hand, the Order of Percent, we are living in a simulation, a false world. But they wish to remain imprisoned within it forever.
Forever?
Aber warte mal, was ist denn mit meinem... Ja.
Worried about work?
Nee.
Yes. Worried about money?
Das auch.
Ah. Talking about how to use assets?
FX.
You're messing around, right?
Nein.
Can you not be perverted all of a sudden?
Hä, aber du magst das. Pretty girls don't just fall from the sky, okay?
Pretty girls don't just fall from the sky.
But a certain director once said that eroticism rains down from the sky.
Schlaf gut, Sleepy, träume schönes. Bestanden. Was haben wir für neue Klamotten? Yuki Chapter 1.
Earlier, Boss was working while wearing this. She's starting to lose it.
Chat. Was? Nee, ich will es gar nicht wissen. Ich will da. Wir ignorieren das.
This is the face I make when Ryuki blows his nose with a 10,000 yen note.
Was? So einer sind wir.
This is how the four of them reacted when they found out Abyss is getting a Finnish sauna.
Was ist eine Finnish Sauna? Ist das wie eine Massage mit Happy End? Eine Sauna, wo du ein Happy End bekommst?
This makes me feel like summer is coming to an end.
Vor allem lässt es deine Brüste wirklich, also noch mal größer wirken. Eine finnische Sauna. Ach, Finnisch! Ach so. Ja, okay, Entschuldigung, ja, okay, Entschuldigung. Es ist Tama. Warum trägst du jetzt das? Ich habe nicht gesagt, dass du das tragen sollst.
Come, I will be your opponent.
Aber den Kopf machen wir weg, ne? Also, also... Ich weiß nicht, ob ich verstört oder begeistert bin von dem Hotdog-Outfit.
Yeah.
I don't know. In der finnischen Sauna gibt es ein Happy End, habe ich wohl immer verpasst. Sorry. Bei Tama ist der Gedanke mit dem Happy End nicht so weit weg. Ich verstehe dich. Danke. Ich meine, guck dir die Brüste an. Ich sehe nichts anderes. Scusa. Aber was ist mit... Ja, richtig. Warum hat es nicht gebüngelt? What's your favorite? Naja, Ost natürlich. A liar who tricks a girl into killing someone. Ja. Hä? Chat, also, das klingt doch nach jedem... Also, den mögen wir alle, oder? Also, das klingt doch nach einem netten Menschen. Oder? No, I'm not close to done asking the question Z. I'm curious about everyone else's answer, so I will go on a journey to the other world, Liney. I'll be going now. Mama Yi went off on a journey after becoming a respectable adult. Depending on how you raise it, you might be able to meet new eyeballies. You can view eyeballies that you raised in the picture book. Nice baby. Can you answer more questions so I can become an adulty? Why was I born into this world? Hat die keinen Sinn. Don't say painful thingsy. Bus und Happy End. Die Games haben nur selten eins. Also, wir hatten schon ein Happy
Mr.
End.
Ryuki, have you ever played an open-world game where you play as a criminal?
A game that lets you rob, murder,
No.
blow things up, leave a trail of debris wherever you go.
Nö.
An absurd, heinous game where you can freely commit all sorts of horrible crimes.
Nee, ich spiele keine Spiele.
I've never played anything like that, but I know what you mean.
Then you can understand. If this is a false world created by someone, then the Order of Percent believe they can do whatever they wish. To them, this place is a true utopia. A dream world where they're allowed to do anything they want with no real consequences.
That's why they want to live here forever?
Exactly.
I get it. That's why Chikara was researching immortality.
In theory, using Purge, even immortality is achievable. The ultimate dream that humanity has been yearning for thousands of years. It will soon become a reality. What do you think? Isn't that wonderful?
Schlaf gut, Waffelstimmung durch. Schlaf gut, träume Schönes. Schön, dass du da warst. Ich hoffe, du hast deinen Papierkram gut also umgebracht. Rumgebracht, nicht umgebracht. Dankeschön. Ja, die Nachforschung von wegen hier Unsterblichkeit und so, ne?
I'm aware that Chikara was very particular about immortality. However, I will say one thing. One must not believe in eternal youth. Eternal youth is a lie.
Alter, die mit ihrem Handzeichen.
By the way, Mr. Ryuki, do you remember what you said earlier?
Nö.
Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. That is clearly false. The simulation theory is not occult. It falls within the realm of science. In fact, many esteemed scientists have given serious thought to the matter. The theory was originally proposed by a Swedish philosopher. However, the concept has been around since long ago, even as far back as the days of Plato and Zhuangzi. This world may be an illusion. At least, there is no way to prove it isn't an illusion. There are great people throughout history who have held such ideas.
But there's no way to prove it is an illusion either, is there?
No, there is plenty of science to support it. The holographic principle, theory of relativity, the measurement problem in quantum theory can also be considered proof.
Ich bin nicht klein. Pff. Dann hatten wir schon. Der schwedische Philosoph, ist der auch mit Happy End?
I'd like to ask you one thing. Beings that are
Bin ich
far more
klein,
intelligent and
glaub ich.
advanced than we humans. Do you believe a civilization of such beings exists anywhere in this world? And by this world, I mean all possible worlds in the entire universe, including those outside of our own.
Well, somewhere out there, probably.
I agree. Taking that into consideration, we're left with three possibilities. 1. Civilization hasn't reached a level of technology advanced enough to create a simulation that can't be distinguished from reality. 2. Civilization has reached a
Oh, die
level
macht
of
mich so müde,
technology
die
advanced
Frau.
enough to accomplish this, but it hasn't for some reason. 3.
Ja, Schnauze. Ein Bällebad im Hintergrund. Was sagt ihr zu einem Bällebad?
Civilization has reached that level of technology and has no strong reason not to use it. Therefore, they've proceeded with creating an intricate simulation. Which of these do you think is most likely?
Are you saying it's 3?
That is what a famous Swedish philosopher believed, at least. He further explains, that civilization must have run simulations millions or even trillions of times. In which case, it would make sense to believe our world would be included in one of those simulations.
You're saying it's far more
Oh, die
likely
redet
that
doch
we're one
nur
of the
Bullshit, die
countless
Frau.
simulated worlds,
Können wir woanders
rather
hingehen?
than a world that exists in the one and only reality. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Additionally,
Even light
Nein.
cannot escape
Oh.
a black hole. I'm sure you've heard this before.
ich muss halt immer noch da drücken. The simulation in the real world may be a simulation itself, kind of like a Matryoshka doll. Just so you know, I'm not saying I believe the simulation theory. The simulation theory isn't too credible because of this Matryoshka aspect. Echt? Okay. Die Raum so 0,5 Meter hoch mit Bällen aus dem Bällebad füllen. Ich wollte noch rollen können. Poolstream mal anders. Bälle-Poolstream.
Information is the same. It cannot escape a black hole.
Aber es ist ganz schön schwer, den
It's
Raum zu
known that
füllen,
the
glaube ich.
amount of information trapped in this way is not derived from the volume of the black hole, but the surface area.
Supermassive
Considering
black
this,
hole.
you can conclude that information in a three-dimensional space is stored in the boundary of its two-dimensional surface. In other words, all information stored in this universe is encoded in a single flat plane, just like a hologram. Regarding gravity and other
Bälle-Poolstream ist jetzt
physical
nicht so anders als die
processes,
anderen.
they can be completely accounted for through the laws of physics defined by the
Das ist
boundary
recht.
surface. Let's take a character from an action game, for example. When that character falls, you may think he was pulled to the ground by gravity.
Also Mario hat sich verändert. Also Mario hat sich ein bisschen verändert. Also Ich finde ihn jetzt cooler als früher. Also, ich finde ihn jetzt cooler. Aber er hat sich verändert.
However, gravity does not actually exist in the game world. Only code that was written in the program. The character's body is merely made to show as if it fell based on its code.
You think this world is the same?
The holographic principle is not a
Was,
theory.
wenn ich falle, falle ich gar
It is a
nicht.
principle. It has already been mathematically proven.
Ich werde müde, ja. Ja.
I see. Then let us leave it at that.
Ja, danke. Cool.
In any case,
Danke,
there is
Spiel.
no denying that the simulation theory is true. But unlike Chikara, I have no interest in the concept of
Ich bin
immortality.
immer noch müde von
Because
deinem
my
Gerede.
objective is to tear at the seams of this world and emancipate us all.
So you mean dying?
No. Death and emancipation are completely different. I have no desire to commit suicide, though I would be fine with dying at any time.
Was hältst du von dem Konzept, dir die Zunge selbst rauszuschneiden, nur damit du nicht mehr so viel reden kannst? Ich weiß, es ist ein bisschen drastisch, aber du gehst mir auch drastisch auf die Eier.
Because this world isn't real.
There is that, yes. However, there is another reason. If I wish to do so, I can resurrect myself.
Programmierung lässt sich nur müde fühlen. Okay, das kann sein, natürlich. Natürlich. Macht
We are
Sinn.
living in a false world created by a program. Therefore, if we can rewrite its code, we can create miracles, like reincarnation.
Alter,
or
ihr
even-
Blick. Boah.
Bringing someone who has already passed back to life.
Mega sympathisch, ja.
Has
Auch
this
nicht.
woman lost it?
Das fragst du jetzt? Ich kaufe ja schon die Waschmaschine.
Ryuki, you were right. There's clearly a lot of reasons to be suspicious of Tokiko.
Yeah. Let's check with WingSync.
Ach nö. Reden viel schneller, nix gegen die reden und so. Okay. Ach, finde ich nicht schlimm. Finde ich nicht schlimm. Also mir geht's gerade um den Inhalt, weil es so wissenschaftlich ist. Oh, da kommt doch irgendwann ein Kappa raus, oder? Komm, gib mir. Dann Wink sinken wir halt. Wink, sink. Kommt immer drauf an, was sie reden. Yep.
I saw everything. If you don't do as I say, I'm sure you know where this is going.
What is this?
Looks like Tokiko is blackmailing someone.
What is it she saw?
I don't know. This is as far as we can get through WingSync.
Then...
Yes, let's get a deeper look into her mind. Using a regular sync.
Spät, es ist genau 0 Uhr. Wir machen jetzt keine Sync mehr. Abyss HQ. Ach, schon Gameplay sind auch nervig, wenn scheiße ist. Du meinst, wenn man einfach nur scheiße am Schwitzen ist, müde ist und dann Demon's Souls spielt? Da waren auch 2 Stunden schon nervig.
Ryuki, just to confirm, you did get permission, right?
Klar.
Yes, she accompanied me voluntarily and...
In Sync.
No, I meant from boss.
I haven't seen Boss.
Bye, bye,
She wasn't in
bye.
the control room.
It's fine. I'll be sure to talk to her later.
I don't think this is a good idea. Besides, you don't look so good, Ryuki.
Hey, hallo?
I'm fine. So please, I need
Der
more
sieht
leads
voll
to
gut
solve
aus,
this case.
okay?
But you...
Der hat uns gemobbt.
Fine.
Danke, Pewter.
I'll help you for now, but I won't be held responsible. Deal?
Dann einen Text, was sie sagen. Nee, jetzt ist ja wieder okay. Die Frau erzählt nur so schwierige Sachen. Die nerven.
Look, Ryuki. Please just don't cause any problems.
Niemals.
You can only stay in Somnium for 6 minutes.
Ja, ja.
I absolutely need you to follow this rule.
Ja, ja, mach
Yes,
ich.
understood.
Klar.
Okay then.
Kein Stress.
Let's begin.
Ne, kein Frauenmobbing, das ist Wissenschaftler, Science, Kaka, Mobbing. Oh, jetzt kommt da wieder das Handzeichen. Hi, Tama. Ich dachte schon, die bleibt so.
I wonder if this is the nice president's room. It's really white, though.
Let's make an acronym poem with the letters for NICE.
Where the hell is this coming from?
N.
Okay. Not that I know why.
Hä, warum?
Angry.
I.
Incoming?
X.
Shingu River Ray.
Not that I know why. Angry incoming Shingu River Ray. The Shingu River Ray. Such a kind animal.
Angered by humans polluting waterways, I guess.
Das war mir jetzt zu hoch. Aber Tobi, das Hotdog auf ist doch blöd.
Activate.
Da sieht man ja nichts. Und da gibt's viel zu sehen. Machen einen Ausschnitt für ihre Brüste rein. Aber die hat auch schöne Beine. Ihre ganze Figur ist mega gut. Stare into Tokiko's abyss. It seems like Tokiko was threatening someone. By peeking into her mind's abyss, you might discover something.
This
Da
is
kann man
such
beim
a
Auto
quiet
drückstreichen. Ja.
place. So empty and blank.